Now, I usually script my writing advice videos for good reason. I'm not that good off the cuff, but for this video and for the rest of the series, I'm just going to wing it. If you don't know what this series is, I did make a video last week kind of explaining it. I am going to document the writing, publishing, promoting process from start to finish. So, coming up with the initial concept, writing it, editing it, publishing it, promoting it. I don't have a name for this series yet. By the time this video comes out, hopefully I do have a name. It'll be in the title. If not, whoops. So the topic for today's video is coming up with a compelling angle. You need to create something or come up with something that people are drawn to and actually want to read. That's probably a good place to put the intro.
No fluff writing advice. Cut the fluff.
So I've started writing quite a few books where I thought I had a really good angle. I thought it was interesting, compelling, and I've got a few chapters in and just thought, it's good, but it's not good enough. Is it really worth writing an entire book about? Sometimes not. Sometimes you need to know when to just abandon an idea. In this case, because I'm documenting pretty much the whole process, I want to make sure I choose an angle that's actually going to work. I don't want to get several weeks into the writing and realize that I have to pull out. So I'm putting extra care and extra attention into choosing this angle. And I think I've got something. It's interesting to me anyway. So at the start of the year, I started this channel. Somewhere after that, I started doing book reviews. And I'm not sure where it came from, but I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, and that got me into lit RPG. And I'm pretty much working my way through every series, it feels like. So this book is going to be greatly informed and influenced by the books I've read this year. And most of that's lit RPG. I want to write something in that genre, but there are plenty of tropes and things about it that I don't really enjoy. Stat dumps are a big one. Too much exposition a lot of the time. Too much talk, not enough rock. The character sheets, all that sort of stuff. I know some people enjoy it. I know some people enjoy the numbers, but I'm not a numbers person. I don't care what their intelligence or self-awareness or cunning, whatever weird stat they've come up with. I don't care what it is. So I want to write something in the genre that I'd get maximum enjoyment for, because there are a lot of things I do like about the genre. And I also want to address some of the complaints I've made about certain series. Yeah, I don't remember which video it was on. It was probably something for He Who Fights with Monsters. I did make some negative comments on those books. I also made some positive comments for the record. But someone said, and it's a cliche line, someone says something along the lines of,
If you don't like it, you should write your own stuff.
and like, I get the sentiment, I see what people are saying, but it sort of loses its effect when you're saying that to another author. I do write my own stuff, but there is a good point, a good nugget of wisdom in that comment. All the stuff I'm complaining about, I can fix it. I can not do those things in my book, or I can do it better, or I can make fun of it. So I think that's what this book's going to be. It's not going to be like straight up satire, but I do want to make fun of those tropes that irritate me in hopefully an entertaining way. One of my biggest complaints about He Who Fights with Monsters was the character of Jason Asano. I dislike his personality. I like his character. I dislike how the character's used. Someone like that, someone who's always the smartest person in the room. They're winning every battle. They're charismatic. They're pretty much getting everything they want or need. Someone like that, they have to have a fall from grace to humble them. And I'm only up to book 2, but Jason hasn't had that fall from grace yet. What I want to do, the angle I want to take for this book, is get someone who's already like close to the top of the game, an unlikable character. I want to make him despisable at the start. I want to give him that fall from grace. I want him to be humbled. I also want to give him a less common class. I've come up with a few things. I might mention those a bit later down the track when I discuss the actual character. But one of the big tropes I sort of want to flip around, and I'm sure this has been done before, I haven't come across it yet. The big lit RPG trope is generally someone from our world or similar gets sucked into a video game like world, and then they have to navigate that. I want the character in my book to do the reverse. He's in this world, he's at the top of his game. It's already a video game world with a certain system, if you can call it that. Part of his fall from grace will be getting taken to our world and suddenly he doesn't have access to mana anymore. He doesn't have access to his abilities. He's nothing there. And then he has to navigate that and find a way home. I've got a rough story or a rough outline in my head. I need to flesh it out a bit more, but that's the angle I want to take. And like I said, I'm sure this has been done before. I'm not widely read in the genre yet, but even if it had, that's the thing with an angle. There's nothing's really original anymore. When I first started writing, every idea I came up with, even character names, if I invented a new word, I'd Google it to make sure no one else had done it before. And especially with story ideas, it's all been done. Remember that South Park episode where about the Simpsons?
They did that on The Simpsons.
Oh, heck, I thought I was being original.
Simpsons did it. They come up with an idea. No, Simpsons did that. What about this idea? Simpsons already did it. Simpsons have done everything. Everyone's done everything. So even if you come up with an angle that someone's probably done before, as long as you're putting your unique spin on it, no one's going to write your story the way you would write it. So try and be as original as possible when you can, but don't worry about whether it's been done before unless it's something really popular and common. Like, don't have a chap of small stature taking a magical ring to toss into a volcano. Everyone knows that story. That's been done. Don't get anxious that you're not original enough. As long as you're putting your personality, your voice, your style into the story, into the writing, it will be unique and original in its own way. So in summary, to cut through the rambling, the angle I've got at the moment, I want to write in lit RPG. I've got my unlikable character who's going to have a fall from grace. There'll be a redemption arc, naturally. And I want to sort of play with the lit RPG tropes. I want to use some sparingly, or maybe not as forcefully as some authors do. I want to poke fun at some of the tropes. I don't want it to be overtly satirical. I want it to be more subtle than that, but that's easier to say than do, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, I should also mention, I have started writing. I don't know how I managed to carve out that writing time, but I did. And the current word count, and I'll do this at the end of every video in the series, is, probably should have looked up the word count before I started recording. Just bear with me. Look at that, 5,073 words. That's a good start, chapter and a half, and the wheels haven't fallen off this operation yet, but keep watching, there's still time. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy this video, hit subscribe anyway, and hate watch my content. That's always fun.